Yo! So, for this week, getting the cosplay aspects and all that, and not really so much cosplay, it's just more like a generalized video, but I wanted to talk about different fandoms, and the fandoms that I'm more specifically in. So, from my experience in general with fandoms, and just cosplaying in those fandoms in general, you run into a lot of genuinely good people. You also run into the bad seats who only do it for fame and because it's what's popular at the time. Me personally, I cosplay from Kingdom Hearts, Miraculous, and those are pretty much the big fandoms that I've cosplayed from as of right now. And then I will hopefully soon be doing Vocaloid, because Vocaloid is another big fandom in general. And even Tohoro projects. Which a lot of people like to think they're the same things, but they're not. And I know the difference because I knew about Tohoro project before Vocaloid. Because my brother used to be into it. Actually, my brothers are kind of the reason I got into anime, honestly. And that's one thing I can't really complain about in general, because I like talking to them about different animes and like getting their opinions and also asking them what they've seen so I can get recommendations. So, okay. Going back to fandom base. You get anywhere in the fandom from like I said, the people who don't know anything about it, who don't know the basics about it, like the big example being with Vocaloid. You have the most top people who know everything and anything about literally anything about it. Whether they be the Utaloids, the Vanilloids, your regular Vocaloids, like everything in between. Because there are so many Vocaloids, there's so many different things about it. And you have some that it's like, oh, I just know the bare minimum of like Miku, Luca, Ren, Lin, Kaito, and Meiko. And sometimes Gakupo, depending. I mean, well, yes, it's nice being the ultra mega fan. You also don't have to be an asshole to the people who barely know anything about that in specific. Same with there was a fandom I was a part of that became very toxic to the point of I saw about it on Twitter, and that's what made me like go, no, I'm not a part of this fandom anymore, because that's just complete bullying, harassment, everything in between. But they pretty much were criticizing this one person for their artwork because it was a very, very toxic pairing, and she pretty much ended up killing herself. When I saw that on Twitter, I instantly went, yeah, no, I'm not a part of that fandom anymore. Because I was a part of it, I just never really displayed it. And when I saw that, I went, yeah, no, I'm done with that fandom. Like, bye. I'm out. And I mean, even with... Okay. I make this quite clear. Yes, I like Kingdom Hearts. But it is a toxic... Any fandom that you're in, like I said, will have their toxic traits. And I've run into a lot of toxic people, mostly because I cosplay Kairi, Naminé, and Shion. And obviously Kairi's not liked by a lot of people. I personally liked her because I related to her in a sense growing up. Her and Sora were the ones that I grew up with, and the ones that I pretty much grew up and was like in a way. And I mean, pretty much to be... If you go into my Sabo vlog in specific, there were a lot of remarks towards me, who was dressed as Kairi, saying, oh, well, how does it feel to be the most useless character? And a lot of remarks. And that was like, you know what, honestly, Like, that just bugs me about the fandom in general. Saying, oh, well, how does it feel being the most useless character? How does it feel to be this and that? And it's like, every character has their moments. Every character has their shining moments. Hers are in the manga and in the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3. She's not useless. She's not pointless. She's not a pointless character. Yes, she has a lot of character development. Like, don't get me wrong, I do see that to a point where it's like she needs more character development, which is what I'm hoping for in the next games. But also, she's not that bad. Like, every character has their moments, unless you absolutely hate them. Like in Danganronpa. I know a lot of people from the third game. Or was it the second? No, it is the third. Kokichi's in the third. But I know of a lot of people who hate Kokichi. And it's like, okay, yeah, he might be an idiot, and a lot of things that I could say that would probably demonetize this video if I post this, but there's just, every character has a point. Every character has some sort of value to a story. Whether it be, like I said, Kairi, Namine, Shion, trying to think of some others. But I mean, you guys get the point, that it's like, not every character is useless in a sense. Not every character is useless or pointless. And I mean, hell, even in, where is it? Oh, it's off camera, damn. But Miraculous. Miraculous is another big example too. I normally cosplay either Marinette, Ladybug, who I need to debut her jumpsuit, Alia, currently working on Reina Rouge, Adrian, Breakdance Cat Noir, Breakdance Ladybug, and Pirate Ladybug, and I'm also working on Ryuko. Nobody likes Kagami. Nobody likes Lila. They're also some of my favorite characters too. And in fact, that's why I'm making Ryuko. It's because it's like, I love the design. I love her as a character. Both Kagami and Ryuko. Like, the same person. She treats it almost the exact same way. And it's like, even meeting the voice actor got me a little bit hyped up just to cosplay Ryuko, because the voice actor, when I told her, yeah, I'm working on doing Ryuko here in the near future, flat out told me as she's sitting there signing it, and signed it in, when she signed it with I Never Hesitate, she even said it too, and I was like, sitting there in Marinette like, oh damn. But even she told me, she's like, tag me in it, I would love to see that. So I was like, okay. So that's why I'm like, now I'm motivated to work on it even more, because it's like, voice actors recognize when you are working hard on something. And it shouldn't matter whether you bought it or made it yourself or thrifted it. Everybody cosplays the same way. And this is another thing that I'm kind of going to drift off into another little tangent about, but it shouldn't matter when, where, how you cosplay your characters. Everybody cosplays Breakdance, Ladybug, and Cat Noir. Everybody cosplays Marinette. Everybody cosplays Ladybug. Like, everybody cosplays everything at some same time. And what I've noticed with my cosplay community in general is that people like to say, oh, well, you're copying so-and-so. You're copying this person. And it's like, so, like, what's the point of that? Let them copy other people. Nobody came up with an idea first. That's what, but like, even with last year in specific, I would post my cosplans, and then in a group chat I would get bitched at because, oh, you posted that, you shouldn't have posted that because now somebody's going to copy, so-and-so is going to copy you. And it's like, so? Let them. It shouldn't matter when you cosplay characters. And especially, like, it also bugs me when people don't do their research and say that certain people are copying other people when they had that cosplay way longer than the other person who they're supposedly copying. Because, I mean, I'm going to take the personal example that just happened to me recently. I made Kyrie about a year ago. I made her Keyblade about a year ago. This was when I started working on her. I started working on her like end of January, beginning of February, and around this time, like, I'm getting the year ago today pictures in my time hop saying, oh, this is when you started working on Kyrie, this is when you started working on the blade. And I kid you not, that took me 4 or 5 months to work on the both of them. To sit there, kid you not, seam rip the hell out of Kyrie because of so many mistakes that were done on her. Like, she was my first big project that I had done, with little help here and there. Like, the only big things I had help with were pretty much the finishing stitching on it. But I kid you not, I had someone flat out say, oh, you're copying this person, and this person barely got their cosplay for KanjiCon. And I literally just went, go into my pro page, there's pictures of me from freaking January and February working on Kyrie. Try again on that. Like, I mean, I don't make big deals out of about things like that in specific, but I mean, when you get accusations about trying to quote-unquote copy other people, that just, in itself, in general, just do research on when this person, like, if you're going to accuse people of such a thing, just research. Say, oh, this is when that person created their cosplay versus this person. Okay, it's backwards. And I mean, that's why I don't even really consider myself in any fandoms anymore, for say. Like, I have so many fandoms, but also I'm just like, I don't really like to say it, mostly because I get people on a constant basis saying, you're copying people, you're doing this, you're doing that, when in reality I'm just kind of like, no. I do whatever cosplay I want. Cosplay is what makes people happy in general. It's what makes me happy. What makes everybody happy. And I would rather see people being positive about it and spreading positivity versus, like I said with the big example of that one community I was in that I don't want to be a part of, who ended up having someone in their fandom kill themselves because of said situation. I wish the cosplay community would respect that. But unfortunately, like I said, you're going to have a lot of bad seeds who like to literally bully and harass people to the point where a lot of actions happen. Whether they have a big fan base or a small fan base and start talking about it on their platforms, and then follow up by saying, oh, don't send them hate or don't do this, this, and this. Regardless, it's still going to send it to them. And this is why I'm kind of raising awareness about this, is because I've seen it like, not even, yeah, I know it happened to me too, but I've seen it happen on multiple cases to other people. There were some really great cosplayers that back in, actually a year ago today, that I was following, that they got accused of a lot of stuff that happened to them, and they no longer cosplay. I think they finally started coming back in and posting Lolita stuff that they do. But I mean, honestly, like, I just wish the cosplay community in general would spread more positivity and not bring down cosplayers in general. But as of right now, like, it seems like it's more so really broken. And it's kind of like a fend for yourself sort of sense. And it scares a lot of people. In fact, with what's happening to me right now, I've had people come forward and say, I'm scared. And have sent me stuff. And I'm just like, yikes. That's why I'm like, I'm not really saying what's going on behind scenes for me in specific. Just because a lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are worried. And I mean, I understand that. I really do. And that's why I'm trying to work behind scenes. And pretty much, I will end it on this note. I personally love making my stuff. I love cosplay. I love making props. I'm a props master. As it comes to me multiple times in my dream for my grandma, the one thing most people don't understand about me is my love for cosplay and my love for making stuff comes from my grandparents. And the fact that so many people want to say I'm stealing when I kid you not, I have pictures of me sitting at a sewing machine, ripping the hell out of things, or sitting there sewing, or sitting there making keyblades, sitting there doing stuff, like... But then people want to say, oh, so-and-so's props are shitty, and they don't last, when, I kid you not, I've even flat out said, look, my props in specific are for competition purposes and decoration. They're not meant for bookshelf. Look, I kid you not, the reason they're making this, the person that made this comment in specific, is because it was sitting, I kid you not, because I would be on call with them. It was sitting on a bookshelf or on a shelf table kind of sort of, surrounded by a lot of crap. Or a lot of junk, sorry. But it was surrounded by a lot of stuff. My props in specific are meant for wall decoration. As you guys have seen in some of my TikToks and some of my videos in general. They're not meant for tiny spaces in general. Where, of course, if you bump them, or somebody literally rips it out of your hands or whatever, it's gonna break. Like, they're not meant for roughhousing. And I specifically even said that too, that I'm like, these things are not meant for roughhousing. Take it from someone who, I kid you not, the very first keyblade I made, I had someone from a certain cafe, a follower of a certain cafe, hit it during Duke City, and it broke. Whether it was on purpose or accident, I don't care. Honestly, because I'm like, I knew. And like I said, with the way it happened too, I was like, oh, okay, it happened. I'll make myself another one, like, no big deal. Or I can easily repair it, which I did. It doesn't even look like it's broken anymore. Unless you, look at it very closely like this, oh, I can see it's broken. But I mean, I'm still very proud of it. Everything I make and everything I do, everything I sew, everything I've done, I'm very proud of that work. Even when people who literally, I kid you not, were bugging me to make them costumes, and I had to make it in practically a week, 2 weeks before the convention, I try my best. But also, the person who's specifically saying this, I haven't even made anything for them. So why are you making comments about something when I didn't even make it for you in the first place? That blows my mind that you would make comments about stuff that I didn't even make for you. And I made it quite clear with what you do have of mine that it's not meant for literally roughhousing and being rough with. I've stated that on multiple cases too, because I keep bringing up my example of what happened at Duke City. But, oh well. And then I kid you not, I was also sitting there sewing said costumes, crying over the fucking buttons because I hate sewing buttons. Kyrie's killed me as it was, and then when I got asked to make 2 more costumes, those buttons were even harder to work with because they wanted it to be cosplay accurate. So I was practically, I kid you not, even like the night before, 2 nights before I had to go meet my ride, sitting there sewing buttons. I was practically crying and dying on the inside because I was like, why would you pick the most hardest buttons for me to sew on? And I mean, this is kind of why I've kept all my plans in specific quiet. You guys now know that I'm working on a few others, but those won't be for Duke City. I mean, those won't be for Sabaku. They're going to be for probably later on in the season. So, surprise. You guys get 2 plans that I am working on. And will most definitely be working on. For whatever convention, I don't know. The ones that I'm working on for Sabaku are all a surprise. I think the only kind of hint I gave away is for Saturday, all of my Saturday characters are redheads. Short hair. That's practically all the hints you're going to get. Oh, and then the 2 little toy balls that I was working with and messing with that light up. That's about it. Those are the only hints you guys are going to get from what's being planned for Spaku. And I kid you not. Oh, my SpakuCon is brand new. I am literally working and sewing and working on props, working on necklaces, working on messing with Warbler, working with Eva foam. Like, I'm going all out for my Sabaku stuff. Dyeing stuff, like, oh, I need to actually check that too. But I mean, now that I have all that out of the way, I hope you guys aren't turned away by fandoms in general, because I mean, as I've stated, there are a lot of good fandoms. You just have to find the right people, for say. Like, I mean, I have a lot of good friends in the Miraculous fandom. I do have some good friends in the Kingdom Hearts community. I just had to search really, really hard and dig under some skins because there were a lot of toxic people that I was friends with for a while. But I found some really good friends in that community. Still searching for Vocaloid people, but so far, the only people that I've run into in Vocaloid have been really toxic. And I mean, even with Pokemon fandom, I'm always part of Pokemon fandom because I'm as old as Pokemon. It came out literally when I was born. So that's why I'm like, I will always be a part of Pokemon fandom in specific. Like, that is one of my main ones, and you guys will see I have a bunch of EVs. Like, I'm an EV collector, and I want to be a Vulpix collector here because I have a little fun story about Vulpixes, but I will save that for actually a story time in general. Besides all this, if you guys want, both my channels are right here. One for cosplay, one for covers and gameplays. Over here will be whatever YouTube recommends, whatever. And I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!